Before we get into the video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the build and some other stuff I've been working on. This build I've been testing for the past few months, different gear sets, different stuff like that on Magdk. I've been playing a lot of fucking Magdk, like a lot. So I've been testing a lot of stuff, and every time I come back to this build. It's that one build that you can never let go of, and you just come back to it, and I really enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it too. It has a lot of healing, a lot of damage, pretty good sustain, I might add, and it has a lot of utility in the ulti gen that we get, because it has a lot of ultimate on it. So if you like this style of video, you like these kind of builds and stuff like that, be sure to drop a like, sub, help me out a little bit. I'm also working on a stam DK that's getting close to being done, I think. I'm really liking it so far, so I can't wait to get that out. And anyways, let's just get on with the Magdk build, because that's what you guys are here for. Let's roll. For attributes, I went with 51 to Magdk, 13 in health, giving us a nice 30k magic pool and 28k health. I like to sit at this range. And 18k stam, we are running sugar skulls, so we have tri-stat. Our mundus stone is Atronach. It just gives us a lot of recovery. In all the clips I've showed earlier, or I'm gonna show in the video, I'm not actually a vampire. I just picked up vampire like 5 minutes ago. So I wanted to try it, and stage 3 will give us undeath, and we're already ridiculously tanky, so I just kind of want to see how this works out. But the only issue I have is sustain, so I'll tell you how to fix that in the build. In terms of, stats and stuff, our recovery, our armor, all of our damage goes up a lot. So seeing it on the stat sheet, not really that helpful. So I'll show you what I mean. We are Breton. Thought we get the race out of the way first. This gives us Magdk, spell resistance, a lot of spell resistance, recovery, and cost reduction. Best race for Magdk, hands down. Second choice for me personally is Argonian. I really love Argonian. The 6% healing on it is amazing, so that's always something to consider. You could go Dark Elf, a Nord, anything you want, but you're gonna get the best results with Breton. You just are. There's no fighting it. So explaining the stat sheet will make a lot more sense once I explain the gear. On the back bar, we are running a Resto Staff of Deadric Trickery in Powered, the Berserker enchant. What this set does, if you haven't heard of it before, deals damage. When you deal damage, you gain 1 of 5 random major buffs for 21 seconds every 9 seconds. So you can get stuff like Expedition, Protection, Mending, Heroism, or Vitality. And all these buffs are really good to have on a DK, and they just help you propel forward. Like, it's just, everyone is clutch. And I can even demonstrate how it works. So you deal damage with anything on the back, say a degen. Look at that, we got major mending. Now we heal very hard. Like, even looking at, like, what the fuck, man? So it can go higher, obviously, but that's basically the point of it. It buffs everything you do. You can get protection, make yourself tankier, mending and vitality are the two you're really looking for, because they boost your healing a shit ton. And heroism. Heroism is just sustain, it is more magma armors, it is everything you need on DK. Very good set. I would not run DK without this, honestly. It's just really good. I don't run poisons because I do something a little bit greasier, and we'll get into that right here. So, Burning Spellweave. What else are you gonna run on a DK? There is one big reason why I'm running this over other sets, like Heartland Conqueror, for example, or Stuns. I also have Stuns dual wield that I like to use sometimes. Stuns will give you more damage. When you hit a Fossilize, basically you're gonna get 5k pen if you can hit a whip after a Fossilize. If you just Fossilize them, that's not enough. What you have to do is you have to hit whip. So when you strike an enemy that is immobilized or stunned, you set them off balance. So stuns will do more damage, but it's hard to kind of get it off in, when there's 5 or 10 people around you. It's kind of annoying to make it work. So I don't really like it that much for 1vxing, but duels, really good. For 1vxing, I recommend Burning Spellweave, because this gives you a huge damage boost, applying the burning status, which is really good, and that damage boost also goes to your healing, and the downtime on it is not bad at all. We got it active only on the front, so we get it when we swap to the front basically instantly. If you have it up all the time, you might not be able to line up your damage and opportunities together, so it kind of lacks luster, so you want it on one bar. And for the traits, have one sharpened with an absorb magicka glyph, and one charged with a poison glyph. Why the fuck would you do this? Well, the charge status is actually really important. So charge increases your chance to apply elemental effects. On our weapons, we have an absorb magicka glyph and a poison glyph, meaning that we're doing magic damage and poison damage. So poison is going to proc the poison status effect that does a nice dot, and magic is going to proc overcharged, which is another dot, and it gives you back resources. So let me demonstrate what I mean. See? Already afflicted by poison, they're getting hurt, and they had overcharge on. This happens pretty frequently. Less frequently in no CP, but it still happens a lot, and I really like it. For just losing 1.5k pen for instant application of dots and shit, it's really good, really worth it. Also, you get more resources back from combustion. The poison gives you back stam. Huzzah. Bet you didn't fucking know that. And yeah, that's how I like to run it. Monster set, bloodspawn, hands down the best monster set, in my opinion, for Magdk in general right now. Holy shit, this thing is so good. Like, ever since proc sets got nerfed, it's been harder and harder to use stuff like Belk and Scoria. Even Grothar is useless now. It's just, this is one of the few that stayed, that didn't get fucked. And the uptime on this is actually crazy. When you're fighting a big group, and you got magma armor on and stuff, this shit will proc on fucking cooldown, okay? It's that good. So you're constantly having 3.5k more resistances and getting 13 ultimate every 5 seconds. That's great. In terms of traits, we got, I think 4 heavy and 3 light. Yeah, pretty sure. And a mix of divines and impen and reinforced. You can go whatever traits you like. I would personally recommend impen over all the other traits because you don't want to get bursted by night blades. So we got one set on the back, one set on the front, meaning that we can run a mythic. And the mythic is your choosing. If you want to be really dirty, go run Gaze of Sithis, but you know, nobody has that shit because the lead never drops. But I really like Torque. Torque helps you fill in the sustain issues in the areas where you don't have your ultimate or a potion, because you do kind of start to rely on combustion and battle roar. So if you don't have an ultimate and your resources are getting low and you don't have a pot, then what are you gonna do? You may not have time to heavy attack and stuff. And so when I was talking about the recovery, it actually goes up a lot. If we look at it, 2k mag recovery right now. And that is not considering a CP passive here and potions. So we can get like very high recovery. And I think sustain is probably the most important thing on a Magdk over healing or anything else. It's just really good for sustain. And we want a reduced spell cost on 2 pieces, at least. You know, Ring of Trainee is really nice. And I also noticed that Bloodthirsty is really good for helping kill people. Basically, all of your dots are going to start scaling up in damage as they get lower, and it's harder for them to come back. 1 Bloodthirsty is a must, I would say. 2 is a little overkill, but you can rock it. You can rock it if you want. Like, no judgment. It's pretty good. And, you know, infuse reduce spell cost, trainee, just for extra health. You could run 4-piece of Deadric trickery at all times if you want to get magicka instead of health. Up to you. Really flexible. yeah, that's basically it for the gear. Let's move on to the skills. Power Lash, Flame Lash, whatever you want to call it. I like it so much more than Molten. I really do. It's just so good. I noticed the difference in healing without it, and the healing on it is insane. You can see just sitting here, we got a 15k heal over 2 seconds. Now I've seen this go up to like 22, 23k over 2 seconds. And Bloodthirsty is really nice with this because it increases the damage of your whip against low health people, and the more damage it does, the more it's gonna heal, which is really nice. And basically you want to use this in conjunction with your Shattering Rocks, Burning Talons, even your Deep Breath. This is our Delayed Burst. It's really nice. Just run Power Lash, okay? The healing on it is dumb. Shattering Rocks, since we are running Talons, we don't need an Immobilize from this, and the heal is actually really nice. Usually when you fossilize somebody, they dodge roll out anyways, because they think they're immobilized, so you can hit somebody with a Shattering Rock, stun them, and then they'll go and dodge roll thinking they're immobilized. And then you hit them with the talents and you're like, ah, fuck, I'm actually immobilized now. So you make them waste like 4 times the amount of stam. It's fucking great. Engulfing Flames. This skill is a piece of shit. It doesn't work. But I figured that for me, for some reason, whatever, it fires better on circle. I don't know. It just does. Don't shoot me, but it does. I don't run a breach. I think this is basically the same as a breach, so who needs one? This skill right here is our flex spot. In outnumbered situations, like when you're fighting more than 3 people, I prefer to have Deep Breath. It lets you AoE burst people a lot better with Talons and Leap and Engulfing and Flame Lash. You can get some really, really nice AoE burst with this. And also, if you feel like you don't have any burst with Flame Lash, you're like, ah shit, I really wish I had Molten, you know, so I could crack people with some big whips. All I need is Deep Breath. What you gonna hit, like this whip, Power Lash itself, hits for like, you know, 6k, 7k sometimes. I've noticed that Molten Whip hits for like 9 in the top end, 10, you know, sometimes 11 in the top end. And this is like 4k. So if you combine that Delayed Burst with your Power Lash, it's basically the same damage as Molten Whip, but you get the healing from Power Lash. And it's AoE, which is really good. And I mean, you're gonna cast, what, Flames of Oblivion 3 times to stack up Molten? And it costs like 1500 Magdk, which is basically the same as Deep Breath at that point. Like, and it's faster. I don't have to spam it 3 times. I don't have to wait for a victim. I just fucking do it. Do it. Way better. Other stuff you could put here, 1v1s, you know, 1v2, 1v3s, you know, small stuff. Burning Embers is gonna do better for you. Flames of Oblivion, you could also put here. Talons is the other one. This is like an AoE execute, and holy crap, it hits hard. You can catch people rolling through you mid-roll with this skill, and it just destroys them, like, period. And if you're gonna run Power Lash, you need Talons to get a Power Lash, you know, on demand, basically. For the ultimate, we got Leap. Who saw that coming? It's Leap. Moving on. Rapid Regen. This is our heal over time. And it ticks pretty fat. It ticks really fat. This is the flex spot on the back bar. Second ability. So this can be replaced with Cauterize, obviously. Protective Plate is also really good. And if I had it, I would be running Race Against Time here. Blessing of Restoration, also not bad. Gives you minor resolve. And basically the same heal as Cauterize. Like, if we look at it, Cauterize gives you, what, 5,800 in Major Prophecy. And this gives you 8k in Minor Resolve. You know, that's some food for thought right there. Coagulating. This is your burst heal. This is the, oh no, I'm gonna die. I need to spam this to live. It heals very, very, very hard.
I am lagging a significant amount.
Oh, am I?
What the fuck was that?
Hold on. What? What did you just heal with?
What?
This is your armor buff. It does massive AoE damage, like 8k over 10 seconds, and every time you get attacked, you return 1300 magic damage back. That's super good. But the important part is that it's magic damage, meaning that you can proc overcharged on your front bar with your charged sword. That's another reason why this is very useful. So these two skills by themselves can proc overcharged on somebody, in addition to your glyph, so you're constantly reapplying it, you're keeping it up. It's like always having Ellie Drain up. It's really, really nice. I like it a lot. Degen, it's your major sorcery. Magma Shell, so this one's gonna be interesting. Next patch, this is gonna be replaced with Corrosive Armor. Corrosive Armor is going to give you Spell Pen now, in addition to Physical Pen on every single direct damage ability. So all of your dots and stuff that you're applying to everybody, they're gonna get scaled up, they're gonna hit hard, and at that point, the pen on your character sheet is useless. So if you run something like stuns, you might have 15k pen, but when you get Magma Armor next patch, or Corrosive, whichever one fuck it is, I don't know, it's not gonna hit hard. Burning Spell Weave, you will have that spell damage and infinite pen, and you will hit hard. You will hit very hard, especially with the extra grease dots we got going. And so that's basically it for the skills. Let's move on to the CP. So CP, I went with Focus Mending and 3 damage ones, because I really want to kill people. I think this is nice. We get a lot of defense from our armor and from being a vampire and all that shit. We don't really need much out of here, other than the healing one. You could even take out like Biting Aura for even more healing if you want. That's not something I do, but that is an option. Other good passives to pick up, stuff like Hope Infusion. This is really good. One of the builds going around right now for DK is Trickery, Shalks, bloodspawn for just a shit ton of ulti-gen. And I tried it out, I really liked it. The Minor Heroism does come in handy, but you can also get it just from a CP passive, or other sets, or even skills and stuff like that. You can try it out. Try it out, it's pretty good. It works. It works well. Something else really important to get, make sure you get your increased chance to apply martial status effects by 60%. This means like your disease, poison, bleed, blah blah blah. Red Tree, I teased this earlier, but peace of mind. Ironclad, Rejuvenation, and Juggernaut. So if you guys enjoyed this build, you really like the setup and stuff like that, leave a like, sub, Let me know how the build is working out for you if you guys are trying it. If you need any help or whatever with anything, I might be live again sometime. I don't know. Motivation is low. We'll see how she goes. Peace.